It's now been 1 year since we saw this video for the first time, the horrific and deadly collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. Now, the cargo ship known as the Dali left its dock at 12:45 a.m. that day, and 45 minutes later, it struck the bridge, causing it to collapse and sending construction workers who were just doing their jobs on the bridge falling into the water. 6 of them died. Loved ones and the city of Baltimore are remembering these men today. Alejandro Hernandez Fuentes, Dolian Castillo Cabrera, Minor Yasir Suazo Sandoval, Miguel Luna, Jose Mino Lopez, and Carlos Hernandez. I want to bring in the mayor of Baltimore now, Brandon Scott. Mayor, you're being credited with your response at the time and some of the improvements that have been made since this disaster. But first, I want to ask what's being done to honor the men we just mentioned, and how has the city supported their families?
Yeah, this is a 1 year anniversary of a horrific tragedy, something that's very heavy, and we've been supporting those families from day one because that's what matters the most, right? Just yesterday, myself, Governor Moore, and members of the family, we had them go out on one of our fire boats, allowing them to lay wreaths to honor their loved ones, to give them that moment. Because since the first moments of this, I've been very clear that we're always going to center this around those families and those individuals, because while it has impacted everyone, if no one else is going to have the direct impact that they have. But we have mobilized around those families for critical resources since that moment. Our mayor's office of immigrant affairs has provided support to the victims, including through the Key Bridge Emergency Response Fund, which raised over $1 million in donations. Folks have had case managers making sure they have, the mental health support, all the things that they need. We're going to be there to continue to help those families, not just right now when everyone's remembering, but when all the cameras are gone again, and however long they need us to be there.
Yeah, really, really remarkable on that front. Now, we know that there was a closure of the port at the time for about 7 weeks, but still it recorded one of its most successful years. And this is key for the country. So how was it able to bounce back?
Because it's the Port of Baltimore, and the Port of Baltimore always bounces back. We know that this is one of the most important ports in this country, as we were saying, since the moments after the Dolly struck the Key Bridge. You're talking about the number one port for roll on, roll off. So if you bought a car in this country, it probably came through the Port of Baltimore. If you're a farmer in the Midwest and you have farming equipment, it probably came through the Port of Baltimore. But when you think about that unified command, which is the thing that I'm most proud of when you talk about our response to this. Every part of government, led by our governor, led by our folks at the Coast Guard, myself, everyone's working together to make sure that this port was able to get back up. Everyone thought this thing was going to take months on months on months on months, but we got it back open in 11 weeks, which is a feat that everyone should be proud of, and shows to the rest of the country how you can work together amidst the tragedy to accomplish the goals that you set forward.
Now, worst of all, it seems that all of this could have been avoided. The NTSB found that the Maryland Transportation Authority missed a critical vulnerability assessment before the collapse. Of course, that's a state agency. But how can your constituents listening to this feel confident that this will never happen again?
Well, I think that first and foremost, what we'll just say and be very clear, that no bridge in this country would have been able to sustain itself with a ship of that size striking it. Let's be very clear. This is not just about some assessment, even if that assessment was done. But now we know that our state partners are working to make sure, as we go through building the new Key Bridge, that things are put in place. But when you look at the size of that ship and the amount of cargo on that, we have to be very clear to not distort this at all. This is about the Dolly striking the Key Bridge. That is why it fell. Period. There is no other reason than that, and we should always be reminded that as we have ongoing litigation and things around that, to hold those who are actually responsible. That no ship in these United States of America probably would have sustained that hit from a vessel of that size.
An important note. And Mayor Scott, we appreciate your efforts for recovery and for you joining us today.
Thank you.